Hello, everyone. So, I am Jovi Marie, and I have founder Delores King with Living Through the Lens. And let's talk about it. We are going to be talking about disclaimer. This is a live, it's based on personal experience. We are not medical professionals, and the content shared is not medical advice. Please talk to your doctor for any medical concerns. Also, tonight's topic is going to be illness and isolation, learning to let people in. So, Dolores, go ahead and get this going and start letting the people know about how to let people in
Okay.
reference to the illness and isolation.
Well, thank you so much, Jovi, and good evening, everybody. You know, I am Delores, and I'm the founder of Living Through the Lens, but I'm also a three-time breast cancer survivor. And I just want to share some stories with you. We talk about breast cancer on this show a lot because that's what it's for, and it's to help other people that's going through. But today, I just want to talk about something that we don't say out loud. We don't talk about the loneliness and the isolation and nobody understanding what we're going through. So, oftentimes, when we talk about breast cancer, we talk about the appointments and surgeries and recovery. Again, but why don't we talk about isolation? This is a real thing. When I was first diagnosed, the first diagnosis I was terrified, I was scared. Oh man, I was a lot of things. I didn't understand. This was all new to me. It's just like most of us. We don't know what's going on with us. It's new to us. And so we kind of keep it to ourselves. When we think about breast cancer is intimate, it's private, it's personal. Well, it shouldn't be private, but it is in some cases. But it's personal and it can be real raw at times. When we talk about loneliness, if we talk about it more, it would help build community, or at least it has the opportunity to build community. That's where your resources come in and your support groups, and those things are important in our community for us to heal. But back to my story, when I talk about me, I know for me, you probably heard this from me before. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell family. I definitely didn't tell my daughter. I didn't tell anybody. I felt like nobody would understand me. Nobody understands what I'm going through. I felt like it was just me. Again, so I stayed at home, isolated. You know, I'm going from the bed to the kitchen, blinds closed, just doing what I do, just trying to make sense of the confusion that was going on in my head because it was a lot. The reason I didn't tell my daughter is because my daughter often says, Mom, you're the strongest person I know. And I didn't want her to view me different. I didn't want her to view me as being weak. But what I didn't understand, I'm not invincible. I mean, guys, none of us are invincible. And so I had to show her that side of me because I didn't want her to think it was okay. It's not okay. When you're dealing with something like this, tell somebody, let somebody in. If it's just one person, just let them in. The hardest conversation I had was with my daughter because when I finally decided to tell her, wow, I don't know if you guys seen when we talked about caregivers. My daughter came on and she talked a lot about what I'm about to talk about now, but she talked about it from caregiver's perspective. And I'm going to talk to you about it from my perspective and what I go through when it comes to talking to my daughter. This was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Guys, it was hard. I know some of us out there, when we're diagnosed with breast cancer, you're thinking, man, what did I do? What did I do to get this? The first thing I felt was embarrassment. I was truly, truly embarrassing. It was embarrassing for me. I was embarrassed. I was scared. And we don't want to say these things out loud, but it's a fact. It's reality. These things are scary. We're talking about breast cancer. It's scary. I didn't want my daughter to look at me as being weak. I didn't want her to change her perspective, but I had to do that. And I had to talk to her about it because if I didn't, I don't know where we would be today with relationship or any of that. And I can still say to this day, my daughter's my biggest fan. She's there for me. Even though I was going through breast cancer, going into these treatments, I have a port, so they have to hook you up to the port. My daughter just couldn't sit there and watch that. She couldn't. She would cry. She would just, oh, she would just break down. So she finally just get up and go outside. But she showed more courage than I did just being there, and I couldn't even tell her what I was going through. And that's another thing about letting people in. They inspire us as well, even though we're the person that's going through this horrific disease. And I'm sitting here thinking, so how do I tell Courtney that I got breast cancer? And when I think about it, it was scary. It was easier for me to just stay silent because I felt like if I was silent about it, maybe, it just go away or you're having a bad dream. All of these things come up when your mind is trying to figure out what it is you're going through or how to make sense of what you're going through. So for everybody out here that's going through this, tell somebody. I hear a lot of us say, no, I didn't tell so and so. No, it's none of their business. I know for me, I grew up in a household, and some of you out there probably grew up the same way, in households where our parents really didn't talk about illness at all. And breast cancer was just really, it was just one of them things that wasn't spoke about. And if it was given a different name. You see Johnny today, and next week Johnny's gone, and you know, it's like what happened? There's no explanation. So we're just left there. So we didn't internalize that in our generation with our children. And we feel like, no, I'm not going to tell them that. But why? Why do we hold this information? Why do we hold it? And why don't we feel it's important enough for our kids? Do you know what we do to our kids when we don't tell them when we're going through things? It's like we're not human. We are all human, so they really need to know what you're going through. So after I had this talk with her, we both cried. I mean, we really cried. And that was the first time I can truly say I heard myself saying, do you have cancer? I mean, I heard it before. I heard the doctor talk about it. But when I said it, I heard it for the first time. At least that's what it seemed like to me. When I heard it, and I heard myself say, I have cancer. Then it was time to go to work. First, you have to recognize where you're at. You have to recognize, you have to be able to say, it's just like going through any other support group or AA. First, they have to identify the problem, they have to recognize they have the problem. Cancer is not a problem. And well, no, don't let me say that because cancer is a big problem, but it's looked at different. I guess that's the term I'm trying to use. But so just recognize it and say it out loud. If you have to say it to yourself in a room so you can get it in your head and say, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. Because until you do that, you're still in denial. And when you're in denial, we don't fight because we hoping the problem go away and it's not going to go away. So talk to somebody. If you don't want to talk to yourself, talk to somebody. I talked to myself because I was all I had. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I learned a lesson when I told my daughter about what I was going through. Not only did I learn a lesson, she learned a lesson as well. I realized I was teaching her how to be strong. When we say the word strong, we think strong is, keep your shoulders back. I mean, no matter what you're going through, keep pushing through, you be okay. That's not strong. That's avoiding the problem. Strong is when you're able to come and say, hey, I'm going through this. I need to talk to you. Say something and let people in. And I say that strongly because I didn't, I didn't, and it hurt me in the long run. And I look at that sometimes and say, okay, well, maybe that's why my family don't talk to me like I would like them to. Maybe they look at me and say, oh, she's strong, she got it. So I had to turn the mirror around on myself to see what I was doing and what I could have done better. And I could have done that a lot better. So just think about what I'm saying, guys. I'm telling you firsthand, you would feel a whole lot better. We are not invincible. Nobody's invincible. So tell somebody what you're going through. I needed her to see who I really was. I needed her to see my raw emotion. I needed her to see that I'm vulnerable just as everybody else. I was scared, confusion. I didn't know what to expect. This is new to me. And as this is new to me, share it with somebody so you don't have to carry that burden of all alone by yourself. We shouldn't have to do that, but we choose to do that for whatever selfish reasons it is. That's on us. That's not on them. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that. One of my sisters went to an event with me on Monday. I was so elated. And this is where this come from. It's like, well, why didn't you tell us what you were going through? Why didn't I tell them? Because I guess I was looking at them like my daughter. I mean, they were looking at me like my daughter was looking at me. Oh, she's going to be okay. She's strong. And then really, that's just the fear of talking because I am nowhere near. I'm close, but not close enough. So there's always room for improvement. So I know when we go through this stuff, we think about us. It's me, 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 me. But you got other people out here. And you know the best lesson I learned. You lose people along the way. The people that you thought would surely be there and that's in your corner, and they're there to hold your hand, to talk to you. Those people are not there. They're there, not there for whatever they're going through. Maybe they're dealing with something or they can't, it's too painful to see you go through this and they don't want to be there. That's why I credit my daughter for just sticking it out with me. Regardless of how hard it got for her, she stuck it out with me. But then on the other hand, you lose people, but the people that you never expected is the people that's there for you. They show up, they check in. How can I help you? What do you need? They come sit with you when you can't find the words to speak. They're holding your hand. These are the people, half of them we barely knew. Or I didn't. I didn't know. When I left my job, I'm looking for family and my immediate friends and the friends that I lost. People from my work kicked in. People that was emailing me, they were texting me, they were calling me. Are you okay? Do you need anything? What can we do? They sent care baskets to the house. These people I didn't know. So that was an important lesson for me. You learn, you learn that everybody that you think should be there, and don't think because, okay, I did this for this person, they should be there. I made that mistake too. I'm always there for somebody. I'm always helping somebody do something. Always. But when I got to where I needed somebody, it didn't show up. The people that showed up for me, half of them I barely knew, and the other half is just they knew me, but we wasn't tight like my regular friends. If you want to call them regular friends, but you guys know what I mean. So just be aware of that as well. So you pick up people along the way. They want to be part of your community. It gives you an opportunity to build community so you can have them resources. But when you shut in, you don't know what resources out there. You don't know if somebody wants to help you because you won't speak about it. You don't talk about it. So we have to do this, guys. Family and caregiving or caregivers are really, really important when you're going through this. And I'm going to say this again about my caregivers. Guys, treat them with kindness. Say thank you every now and then, or every day, or whatever you feel. Just show some appreciation. These people have families too. They're out trying to make a living to take care of you. And who knows, when they go home, they may have to go and finish the job and take care of somebody else, one of their loved ones. We don't know. But because we go through stuff, everybody gets it. Seem like we are mad with the world. But please don't isolate yourself. Try to think about it. Let's think before we speak. And I know that's kind of hard, especially when you're going through something of this magnitude. It can be challenging. But just remember, it's challenging for them as well. So we're not the only ones that's going through this. And for the survivors, loved ones, if the survivor don't reach out to you, try to reach out to that survivor. Don't just sit at home and say, oh, she's strong, she'll be okay. Just like some people don't know how to reach out or open up. We're the same people. We're just dealing with a disease right now. We're dealing with cancer. And so it's hard for us to say, okay, I feel guilty. I'm just being honest. I feel guilty and I feel bad when I have to. And again, I know I'm going to sound redundant. I know it. I know it. And it's going to come back to haunt me. I know it. But I am not invincible. But if I reach out, I have plenty of people come to me and say, if you need anything, just reach out. Just let me know what you need. I know I'm sounding redundant because now I'm telling you to reach out. We should reach out too. But when I do reach out, I feel bad. How are you doing? Oh, I'm okay. You need anything? God, no, I'm okay. And then inside, I'm dying because I didn't say what I really wanted to say. Then I have to deal with that. I don't know what that person had to offer. I don't know what help they were offering. I don't know because I didn't give them a chance. If you got people out there that's loving on you for whatever the reason, and especially when you're going to breast cancer, let them do that. God might put that on their heart to reach out to you, and you're throwing away their blessing. Again, guys, this is physical, emotional, mental. So we have to work with all of that. And it all have to come together in order to make sense. Let's try to be nice to our providers. Let's try to reach out. Let's continue to talk about the issues that we deal with that nobody speaks about. Not all the things I heard, and I heard a lot about breast cancer. I didn't read a lot about breast cancer, all of that. But I never really heard anything about the isolation. They touch on it here and there. But if you have never been where we at as survivors, you might not quite get it. It's personal, it's intimate, it's raw. So I hope somebody out there is hearing me. If you hear me, send a star, a thumbs up, anything. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about the isolation. And it's hard. It's very hard. I isolated myself for so many reasons. I wasn't outspoken as I am today. That was one. Two, I was in the beauty field. I used to model. And I always was up on my appearance. And then cancer struck. And it stripped that away from me. So we don't really know our circles when everything is stripped away from you. You think you got it all together and you don't. It's stripped away from you and you have to figure this thing out. Now, I don't have my body I used to have. I don't have my beauty I used to have. I don't have that. And it's okay. It's okay because I am who I am and I'm a package deal, like it or not. This is just who I am. But what happens when all this stuff is stripped away and you have to look at yourself? We don't have the hair on. We don't have the fingernails. We don't have the lashes. This is what cancer do for you. It strips you down. It strips you down. And then what do we do? That's when we start to isolate. Because some of us don't like to go out looking a certain type of way. Guys, come on. This is real. This is not play. This is real. This is reality. This is reality. I'm going to leave it right there for now. And I'm going to speak to Jovi, see if there's any questions or maybe if she have any questions. But if you have any questions for me, feel free to let us know. If you just want to know something, feel free to let us know. I put my story out here because I'm an open book. And I figured if I open the book on my life and show you that you're not the only one going through, then maybe you can help somebody. So we're going to
Exactly.
pay it forward. Jovi, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's true. And everything that you're saying has an impact because a lot of us or a lot of people, um, they don't speak about their problems. They don't speak about anything that's concerning, or even if someone does ask, is there
Mm-hmm.
something I can do to help you?
Yeah.
And that is an opportunity right there, right? Like,
Yes.
what are you going to accept and how are you going to get your blessing, like you
Yes.
mentioned? Because,
Yes.
you know, God did put that in your heart to ask. And sometimes they don't know what to do as well. So, what are a few things that you would suggest for the audience that wants to at least give something and ask the right questions?
I guess it all depends on the individual. Did you say the question? Did you say what suggestions do I have if you want to give
Yes.
something or the what? Okay. Again, I think it all depends on the individual. As far as gifting is concerned, it's like people from my work did for me.
Hmm.
There was a site, I think it's called Caregiving. I'm sure it is, but maybe I'm not. It's been a long time for me. But anyway, they hooked me up to this site. I got the account and I went in and I would just write. I was just writing like things. It was like a wish list, I guess you can say.
Oh, okay.
Things I wish I had. Like I like to do puzzle books. I like piano music. I wanted CDs with piano music. Just stuff to make me comfortable.
Right.
My daughter, she had her own wish list built for me, and that was the things I wanted her to do for me. And that was to come over, spend time. We have veg out movies. We watch series all night. I mean, and we just eat and laugh and cry and whatever we felt, we would just be. We would just be.
Right.
So they do have these sites where I know sometimes, let me say this first. I know sometimes it's uncomfortable talking to people, especially when they call you on the phone. And try not to do much of that, guys, if you caregivers or if you have friends that's going through this. And let me tell you why, because that person is trying to rest. I know for me, I have 11, 12 brothers and sisters, and it's just one of me. So when I came in for my doctor's appointments, I would try to call all of them or send them a text, a mass text to say, hey, this is what happened. This is what the doctor said, whatever. So, and that made it easier for them and it gave me time to rest because it's a lot of you guys out there that's supporting survivors. You're probably already a survivor yourself or somebody that's going through. So just try to be mindful of that. Let them have their rest, get their rest. Maybe do a, oh, I wish I knew the name of that. I think it's Cambridge. It's Cambridge, and it's for people going through, and you put on there what you need, and they sign up, and they'll either send it to you, bring it to you, or whatever the case may be. I even got vouchers for dinner. Even though I couldn't go out, I would call the restaurant, give them my voucher, whatever it was, and they will bring the food to the house. So it's a lot of ways to do that. And some of you may want feel comfortable going to that person. But before you do that, ask their permission. Say, hey, is it okay? You know what I'm saying? Just is it okay? So it's a lot of ways to get things done. As far as the questions are concerned, I have to think about that. When you say questions, questions could be just about anything. Jovi, when you say question, is that the question the caregiver are asking the survivor, or is that the survivor on the other way around?
No, the caregiver asking the survivor.
Asking questions.
Hmm.
That's kind of rough.
Right.
I think for me, it's just being there. Just being there. Uh, Sometimes we don't feel comfortable with all the questions. I know for me, I felt like I was being interrogated. Do you? And it's like, oh, stop with all the questions, please. I couldn't go out to restaurants. And I remember going out one time and I asked for tea. I just wanted a cup of tea. Do you want black tea? Do you want Earl Grey? Do you want this? And it's like, just bring me some tea, you know, just, so I would be careful with the questions. I think just being there, or sometimes you don't have to be there. Just send a message to say, hey, we're here for you. If you need anything, you know, let us know, or just try to be there. And mostly the things I wanted was just somebody to sit with me and hold my hand. I
Right.
just needed to feel that security. I
Right.
needed to feel like somebody understood, and I had people in my life that didn't understand, but they were there.
Hmm.
If we just sat down and watched TV, nobody said anything. We're just watching TV.
Right.
It's just the little things that makes a difference when you're going through this. I
Exactly.
hope that helped.
Oh yeah, that helped exactly. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a lot, Jovi, when you're going through this and you have to reach out. And for those of us that's not comfortable saying, hey, I need you to do A, B, C, and D. I had people that come to the house. It was, they'll come, they'll help clean or, bring a meal. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Things that I couldn't do,
Right.
and it was a point where I had to have someone come over so it can help me bathe because I couldn't do it, and the eating. We gotta eat. It's just things that we have to do. Life is gonna keep moving.
Right.
Now your world may have stopped, but the world is still moving. And we feel like we're at a standstill because our whole life is just blown up in front of us. And now what do we do? So it's important. Those people come in and help you make sense of where you're at, but you have to let them in, and you have to tell somebody what you're going through. But this is near and dear to me. Tell somebody. Just tell somebody. Say, hey, I need some help. Anything. But
Right.
tell somebody. This is our chance to create community, and especially in our communities, Black and Brown communities, we need that. We
Right.
can't expect somebody to come and rescue us when we can't rescue ourselves.
Right.
So I hope that helped.
That
Did
helped.
you have, did you have anything else for me?
No, I don't have any other questions. I don't know if you have anything else that you want to add to this live.
The only thing I want to add to this slide, this is in closing. I'm not going to hold you too much longer. But in closing, like I said earlier, breast cancer is personal. It's raw. and it's very intimate. It changes how you see yourself, how you see your body, how you see your identity and your strength. No matter how dark it gets, there's always light at the end of that tunnel. And that light comes from people who love us and who want to be there for us. Let them in. So whenever you are in your journey or you're on your journey, remember it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have people see you stripped down. It's okay. And I say stripped down, and I mean that in the most sincere and honest place, because cancer will strip you down. And you have to be okay with that. But don't close the blinds forever. So when you go in your house and you want to isolate, don't sit there forever in this. Don't sit in this all by yourself. Let somebody in. Because healing doesn't happen when we're in silence. It happens when we share, when we connect, when we allow others to love us through our pain. Guys, I appreciate you guys coming in or sitting with me for these 30 minutes and talk about isolation and illness. I hope you got something from this because it's very important. Again, isolation, when we isolate, it doesn't help us, nor does it help our loved ones or the other people, friends, whoever that is, trying to be there for you. This is our opportunity to build community. Let's build community so we can have more resources that's helpful to us in our communities. I believe that's all I need to say. I just thank you guys so much for tuning in, and peace.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will be live again next Wednesday
Next Wednesday,
at
6:40.
6:45 Central Time.
Yes. Guys, you take care. If you need to send in messages or you have questions, feel free. Feel free to send them in. Like we said before, if we can't get to them at that moment, we'll send it or we'll talk about it on our next live. But whatever your questions is, send them in, please. I would like to have more participation on the Facebook Live, and especially when we talk about breast cancer. I know you hear me. I know that. And I know some people pop in, pop out. And I know that too. And sometimes it gets heavy. I understand that. But if you have any questions and they get too heavy for you to listen to, at least let us help you. Just send in your questions and we'll be more than happy to help out. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you.